affeder günahı alemin padişahı.
Singer-songwriter Sami Yusof may not be mainstream in the common understanding of the word, but he stresses that the mainstream he is in isn't the one that westernized countries know of.
We have been taught that there's only one mainstream. This is not true. The Western mainstream. This is not true. And unfortunately, the more a country or people are westernized, the more they'll think that it's true, there is only one mainstream, there's only one world. Or in fact, there are different traditions and different people and different mainstreams. So for example, in Egypt, as an example, you don't get that many. Egypt is the Dunya, they call it the mother of the Arab world. You don't get that many Western acts going there. They just wouldn't sell tickets.
I wish that somehow you'd tell me out of love that on that day you'll forgive me.
Sami, who will be 32 years old in July, is in Singapore promoting his Indo Stadium concert happening on the 8th of the same month. The multi-instrumentalist was born in Tehran, Iran, and moved to London, England at age 3, where he was raised. Sami grew up in a creative environment, being raised by an artist mother and a musician father. As early as 3 years old, his father was the biggest musical influence on him, but it was growing up in multicultural England that probably influenced Sami's message of bringing people together.
I mean, in my classroom, for example, this is England, right? This is the United Kingdom. I've got Navinder, I've got John, I've got Ali, I've got, all these different people around me from all these different backgrounds, and they're all following. Fortunately for me, it was not too long ago, but at that time they were following the traditions. So they were British, but they were British Muslims, they were British Hindu, they were British following whatever tradition they're from. I'm British Muslims, and I'm being a British Muslim, learnt from that. It does things to you. It makes you a richer human being, inshallah.
At the beginning of his musical career, Sami took a more behind-the-scenes role, writing and producing under a pseudonym. It wasn't in 2003, at 23 years old, Sami released his self-produced and self-released debut album, Al Mualim. With his second album, My Ummah, in 2005, Time magazine named him Islam's biggest rock star, and following a sellout concert at Wembley, The Guardian newspaper, in 2007, posited that Sami could be the most famous British Muslim in the world. And yet, Sami knows that his fans don't worship him, but see him as a friend or a brother.
I literally, can't walk in the Arab world. I can't walk in Turkey. It's a very, very difficult. And I always used to think to myself, what is it? Why? Surely, why? And I think part of the reason is, other than the media and all that kind of making someone big and stuff. Other than that, I think it's just being normal. Being able to relate to somebody. I could walk in the Arab world, they might notice me, I might get people around me, and they might not. Either way, it doesn't make a difference. What's important is staying true, staying honest, being sincere, and your own heart,
You came to me in that hour of need.
There's one such star who's managed to attract a fan base of millions across all ages.
Although it didn't stop broadcaster Al Jazeera labeling him the Islamic king of pop, Sami thought himself an artist and a musician first, who just happens to be Muslim. But his message wasn't for him to be a Muslim advocate, but communicate the importance of faith for all people. You're just an artist, you're just a musician. It just so happens that you speak about your religion, and
it just so happens that I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
It just so happens because I think that if you ask me this question now, I would perhaps rephrase it and say, yes, I'm an artist, I'm a musician, but faith is important to me. But not just my own faith. Traditions in general, the religious traditions. I think all of them they can add a lot of value in the world that we're living in. And I think faith is unfortunately in today's day and age, the militant atheism that we have is trying to push, its own religion. in our schools and in the postmodern world that we live in, but I think that faith is important. Religion can add a lot of value in its true spiritual sense, its truly well understood spiritual sense, and I celebrate that, and I try to, if I can, encourage it in my own way, indirectly.
So who is Sami's special guest for his July concert in Singapore? Up next, Sami reveals 2 major surprises.